And just come and sit in a seat that is easy for you to be in. And take your time to come to the space. Just to be there, just to sit with yourself for a moment, with me obviously as well, but just to be in that space and just to kind of take a moment to gather yourself. Notice how you are this morning, however that is. Notice how you're doing physically, maybe how you feel energetically being here, emotionally, mentally. And welcome all that to the space. Yoga space welcomes everything that we are, whether we ourselves welcome that. You like the yoga space, welcome yourself to it. And then so let your hands rest wherever it's comfortable for them to rest, and bring your attention to your breath. So start to notice your breath, breathing in, breathing out. And again, however your breath is, just allow that to be how it is this morning. No need to change it, no need to feel that it should be anything other, how it is. But maybe in the next 3 breaths, you might just take a little bit of a bigger breath. Not forcing it to be a certain amount of bigness, but just seeing if there is a little bit more inhale and exhale you can take in your breath. Really to get a sense of what's happening this morning. And then let your breath just return to however it is. And allowing it to be there. And then when you're ready, you're going to start to roll your shoulders. And just bring a bit of movement into them, rolling them round. And then go in the other direction with them. So if you can roll in the back, roll them forward. Perfect. And then at some point in that roll, stop at the top with your shoulders shrugged up to your ears. And then let them fall away. And then do that another couple of times. Bring them right up, bring them up as high as you can get them. And then let them drop away. One more time. Perfect. And then bring them down. And see if you can bring your spine just a little bit taller, again, without forcing it and feeling that you've got to sit with a certain posture, just for me. Just seeing if there's a little bit more lift in your spine. And then take one hand to the side, whichever one you want, lift the other arm up and take a little side bend. And feel the bend in your spine, but also some length in it at the same time. Again, if your spine's happy to lengthen, let it do that. And then we're going to stay this side, and you're going to take your gaze down toward that hand on the floor and bring the top arm to the side of your leg. Maybe walk that hand on the floor back a little bit and come into a wee kind of folded twist. And then stay with the twist to that side, but lift your chest up, lift your gaze up, and see if you can take the gaze more to the side than the floor and feel the lift in your spine. Brilliant. And then that arm that's on the leg is going to take a big circle up and over to the other side. And then we take a side bend to the other side. Just feeling the lift through your spine, taking the bend to the side just to begin with. And then bringing that top arm to the side of that leg, the hands on the floor maybe walks back a little bit, and we get that little kind of twisted, folded twist. Gaze down for now, and then gradually start to lift the chest up as you stay in the twist and take the gaze more to your height than down to the floor. Brilliant. And then from there, we're going to take that round to the front, untwist it, take both hands behind you, let yourself weight into the back of the arms and lift the chest, lift the collarbones, opening the front of the body. Perfect. And then from there, walk the chest forward and then give the shoulders a good old roll out, give the hands a wee shake, And then if you come to lie on the floor and bring your bands, whatever it is that you've got with you, down beside you, but just have it to the side to begin it. You're going to take your arms out to the side, your feet about mat width, and come into some windscreen wipers. So just some movement through the hips, a little kind of wave of the knees, the legs. Do a couple more each side. And then bringing it back to the center, walk the feet in. And you're going to take the band and pop it onto your right foot, just in case I need to talk about what direction, that I'm not going to be confused. So pop the band onto your right foot and have the leg straight and at the height that it can be straight at. So the height's not important, it's having the leg straight. And kind of letting the strap hold your leg for you. Press through your heel so you get a bit of stretch into the calf, and then just play with if that leg can come a little bit higher up, but without forcing it. So you want to feel a bit more stretch, but you're not holding your breath with it or gritting your teeth. Nice. And then we'll keep the strap on that leg and start to make a bit of a circle with that leg. So let the strap guide the circle. And as best you can, making a smooth circle. As smooth as possible without it needing to be perfect. Brilliant. And then go the opposite direction with it. Good stuff. And then just stopping back to where we started with a final little press through the heel. Draw the toes down. Yep. And then when you're ready, pop that onto the left foot. So swapping it over, and again, finding the place where the leg can be straight and held in the strap. And then from there, pushing that heel away, drawing the toes back. You're feeling a bit more stretch. And then playing with, if there's more height the leg can come to, but without creating tension in the torso or the breath. And gritting the teeth. Nice. And then again from there, start to circle the leg. Taking your time, feeling the circle, making it as smooth as possible. You know, there's probably some bits that aren't quite circular in the circle. And then go the opposite way. The bands hold a lot of it, so it can help just kind of ease and mobilize the hips a wee bit. Good stuff. And then stop at the point where we started, the leg up, and then just another final wee push into the heel, into the calf. Perfect. Okay. And then bring that leg down, take the band off, and just pop the band to the side. You might use it with the arms in a wee moment. And then roll onto your side, come onto all fours, and just take a few cat-cows once you're there, just to let yourself move through your spine more now. So I think we'll kind of go hips, spine, shoulders, and then we'll come up to some standing poses. So let yourself find that middle place where you're not too cat, not too cow. And tuck your toes under just for a wee moment, let yourself kind of feel the underneath of your toes. And you're going to aim to keep your spine that kind of straightish place as you push your hips back, let your sitting bones open. And then your feet are going to push you back so you come back over your hands again. So try not to round your back as you go back. Feel the pelvis open and then press it forward again over your hands. We'll go one more time. Brilliant. Coming forward from there, untuck the toes, take your knees wide and your toes together, and then push back into child's pose. And this time let your spine round a little bit more. So you might reach the arms out or drop the elbows, depending on how that top half feels. And take a couple of breaths here. Okay, walk your hands back, press yourself up from there and come up to your knees. And then you're going to have the band in your hand and you're going to take the band behind you so that your arms are straight down the back and you're kind of tugging into that band, pulling the bands a little bit tighter and letting your chest open. Brilliant. And then let the band kind of release, feel your shoulders relax. Keep hold of the band and let's bring your right leg forward so you come into a little low lunge. Good. And exactly that, the band's behind you. We're going to do the same thing as you're in this lunge. You're just going to let yourself pull a bit of tension in the bands to open the front of the body. And see if you can imagine some length from that left kneecap all the way up to the top of your head. Brilliant. So press back from there, keep hold of the band again, and we're just going to swap the legs over. So left leg comes forward. This time we're going to take the band in front of us, so settle into the lunge, and then we're going to do the same thing with arms in front. We're going to give it a little tug, so pulling a bit of tightness into the band, and then take the band up overhead. So pulling some of that tightness as you lift up. Brilliant. And again, see if you can feel that length from your right kneecap all the way up now to the knuckles of the arms. And let yourself breathe. Please remember to breathe. And then bring the arms down, pop the band to the side, push back to your knees and come to all fours. And then find yourself either pressing into a down dog or into a child's pose, whichever one you want. Perfect. So feeling yourself push a bit more with your arms to push your hips back. And taking a couple of breaths there. And then finding your way back onto all fours with your hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath hips. And you're going to let's take the right arm through the left. So look in the chest towards the left as you come into a little twist, bringing the right side of your head face towards the floor. And you might lengthen out that left arm. Nice. Keeping the hips up just now. And kind of reaching both arms and feeling the twist all the way through your spine, from the top of the head through to the tailbone, but the hips staying nice and steady. And then stay in the twist, but use your left arm to push your hips back more into a child's pose now than your hips being lifted. So it'll just shift the stretch in the shoulders. And then unthread that right arm, come back up to all fours. And we'll do the same on the other side. So take the left hand through and under, bending that right arm and bringing the head towards the floor, but the hips are up. And then if you can reach that right arm forward, peering through your right armpit and getting a sense of the spine twisting, but again, your knees are steady, so you're not dropping the hips to one side. And again, on this side, if you take the right palm and kind of push into the floor and push your hips back, walk that right hand back, so you come more into a child's pose, and just feeling the slight difference there in the feel. Perfect. And then walking the right hand back to push you back onto all fours, lift the hips, and then just take a few cat-cows, just come back to something a bit more centered. And feel the spine move after that twist. Perfect. And then come on up to your knees. Take hold of the band, and you're going to find your way from there up to your feet and up to the top of your mat with your band in your hands. Perfect. Okay. So feet about hip width apart, and just keep hold of the band just now, but let yourself look forward and feel the arms by your side. Bit of a reach, length through your torso, front, back, sides. Nice. And then take the band like we did when we were in the lunge, have it in front of you and just feel a bit of pull and tension into the band. and then take that overhead. The same thing we did, you're holding the tension into the bands, pulling both arms away from each other, pulling tension into the bands. And then keep that, you can't quite see my arms there, but keep that reach up and then bend over to one side as you keep pushing length into your arms. So it kind of becomes easy to loosen the bands here, but keep, just makes me think of being at a football match or a basic roller concert. And then take that up and over to the other side. That same sense of tugging into the bands and reaching. Nice. We'll come up to the front again, up to the center, and just bring the band down for a minute, quick hold of it, roll the shoulders. We're going to go up with it again. So take it up overhead again and feel that tension pulling. And then from here, you're going to fold at the hips. You're going to press the hips back and you're going to reach the hands forward. Just coming into a bend and playing with where the weight is on your feet in order to counterbalance that. So there's probably a bit more weight in the heels, but it's still in the balls of the feet. Nice. And then breathe in. As you breathe in, bring the arms back up. And then we're going to take the arms back just a little bit as the hips push forward. So the band will maybe be slightly behind you. The hips are forward and there might be a bit more weight on the balls of the feet. Perfect. And then find the center where you can balance balls of feet and heels. Bring the band down, roll out your shoulders and pop the band down into the floor. Maybe give everything a wee bit of a shake through the arms there. Nice work. Okay. So hands come to hips. Let's do a few simple standing poses. If we take the right foot back and heel and toes out, and then we're going to find our way into warrior two. Just going to shift this way. So coming into warrior two and take the arms out. Okay. Reach out through the collarbones and then see if you can get a sense of that front leg, that left leg dropping down a bit and bending. The inside thigh coming towards the floor. Perfect. And then just play with the width of your feet, the length of them if they need to go a bit further to allow your pelvis to drop. Nice. Okay. And then from there, we're going to push the legs straight, arms come up overhead. And then we're going to go back into where we've been. So we'll just do that a couple of times into warrior two, bending that front knee, and then breathing in, coming up again. And breathing out back to warrior two. So the legs are going to stay here. The back arm's going to drop down as the front arm reaches up. Getting a bit of opening on that left side. And then we're going to swap the arms so the left hand's coming towards the left knee and popping that elbow in the thigh and opening out the right side of the body. Good job. Then we're going to swap that. We're going to go right arm comes to the back, left arm comes up. Keep the knees bent at the front, open up the left. Perfect. One more time, going to where we've been. That front arm finds the left thigh and the right arm opens up and stretches. Good job. And in your next breath, you're going to come back up to warrior two. And then the final pose here, we're going to straighten that front leg. We're going to ease forward and into triangle. So letting yourself kind of slide and fold into triangle. Good job. We'll stop here for a few breaths. See if you can find the ease in your jaw, your breath, your neck, and the strength in the legs. Take one more breath in and out here. And then on your next in breath, come all the way back up into warrior two, bending that front knee, and then swivel on the back, face the front of the mat, find your way to the front, give your legs a kick out, and then come and stand still again in mountain pose and take a few breaths here. Good job. Just notice how it feels at squint if you're anything like me. Done one side, it's normal to feel a bit lopsided. So we'll do the other side. Hands on hips, we're going to take the left foot back, heel and toes out, turn to the left, bend that front knee and ease your feet into warrior two. Just kind of play with your stride length where you can settle into both feet. Good job. Arms open out. And then I sense that front thigh is dropping down as the knee bends. And if that front knee won't accommodate it, slide in the back leg back a wee bit to give you that width and length that you need. Good job. We'll do that same breath that we did on the other side. The front leg's going to straighten as the arms go up. And then as you breathe out, you bend again, come back to warrior two. Nice. We'll do it a couple more times. Breathing in to lift up. And breathing out to settle into the bend. Nice. One more time. And then back down into warrior two. Nice. So this time the back arm's coming down and the front arm's coming up. A bit opening into that right side of the ribs. Yeah. And then that front elbow is coming towards that front thigh as the back arm comes up. So that's it. And reaching out. Good job. And then follow with a good oomph of breath. You come back up, swap the arms over. So left arms down to the left leg. Right arms opening up. That's it. And then coming back to where you were. Elbow to the front thigh. Opening up that left side. Good job. So one more breath in to come back to warrior two, and then taking the back arm back, front arm up. Good. And then bring the arms back to shoulder level, straighten the front leg, reach out through that front arm, and then sidle your way into triangle. Well done. And we'll stop here for a few breaths. So seeing if you can find some ease in the jaw, the ears relax, the shoulders, the neck, and the legs push and hold you strong and steady. And then on your next in breath, you can come back up briefly to warrior two. Allow you to look to the front of the mat, swivel and push the back foot and come back to the top of the mat. Standing strong, reaching down and feeling your height. Nice, and take a good look forward there. Gather a bit of strength, purpose, poise. And then hands come to hips. We'll take the right foot back just a couple of foot lengths and have your feet about hip width apart. So somewhere where you can feel that back foot is down. We've done this before. And then we're going to fold forward from there, drawing the left hip back. So you're reaching forward with the torso, but both feet are on the floor. Good job. And see if you can push a little bit into that back heel as you draw, that's it, as you draw the left hip round and feeling your spine lengthen, exactly like that. Well done. And then place the hands onto the left thigh, so they're both above the kneecap. Use that to give you a little push and lengthen in the spine. Perfect. And then bring them back to the hips. Lift your chest up. And we're going to keep the feet where they are. We're going to bend that front knee and push into the back heel. So you might find that the back foot wiggles back a wee bit, or might be absolutely fine where it is. It's standing strong into both feet. Nice. Hands are going to come behind. They're going to clasp. We're going to lift the chest up, keep the legs exactly how they are, but lift the chest up. So it feels to me like I get a stretch in the tummy. And then from there, we're going to soften that stretch at the front and fold over the front leg. So we're not bending the knee anymore, we're not straightening the leg anymore, but maybe drawing that left hip back a little bit. If it starts to creep forward, draw it back. Good job. Then take a good breath in, lift the chest up. Hands can come back to the hips and step the right foot forward. Give the legs a wee shake out. And then come and stand again at the top of the mat. Nice and steady. Good job, well done. Good look forward. And breathe out. All right. So we'll do the same on the other side. Hands to hips. Your left foot comes back. Couple of feet length apart maybe. And hip width apart. Feel that your back foot's down, your back leg straight, front leg steady. And then we're going to fold ourselves forward. Both legs are straight, and maybe drawing that right hip back if it wants to creep forward. Good job. Bit of push into the back leg as if it just kind of tips you forward a wee bit. Perfect. And feeling the length through the spine. Good job. Stop for a breath. And then bring yourself up in the torso from there. Keep the feet where they are. And then you're going to bend that front knee. Good job. If that front knee is pitching over your toes, you might wiggle the back foot back a wee bit. It might be okay where it is. And again, we'll take the hands back, open the chest, keep the legs as they are, but take a bit of opening in the front, like you're getting a stretch through the tummy as you lift up. Good job. And then we're going to soften that stretch and fold it forward. So folding over the right, but drawing the right hip back. So it's probably, possibly going to creep forward. Use that left leg to push you forward. Brilliant, well done. Take a breath. And then your next in breath, lift yourself up. And then unclasp the hands, hands to the hips, step the legs forward and give yourself a good kick out of the legs. Brilliant, well done. Stand, feet hip width apart, arms reaching down. Again, take a breath. Poise, purpose, gather. Nice. And then take your feet about mat width apart. And then maybe just slightly turn your toes out. So not too much, but just probably your feet, your toes are just kind of keeping off the mat. Pop your hands to your hips and then bend your knees as much as you need to fold forward. You're just going to have a bit of a dangle here with a slightly wider feet. You can always bring them in if they'd rather be more narrow. Let your head drop. And then when you're here, just play with turning the toes forward again and see which one you prefer. It doesn't matter what the answer is. You might take them back to the toes being slightly turned out, or you might prefer them facing forward. Soft bend in the knee. And then you're going to roll yourself up from there, all the way up. Bringing the arms up, reach them up, and then walk the feet underneath the hips. So a narrower stance and just have a big, big reach up. Press the hips forward. Take the gaze up, open the chest as if you're getting sun on the front of your body. And then from there, we're going to fold forward. So same as we did, but your feet are narrower. Fold it forward, let the knees bend as much as they need to let you have a bit of a dangle. Let the head drop. Take a breath or two. And then from there, however you find your way to it, you're going to come down onto hands and knees. Good stuff. Spread your hands out lots, get a really good kind of feel into the hands, and take a moment to feel reach through the crown of your head and your tailbone. So as if you're a pointer dog pointing the way. Forward and back, north and south. And then I'm going to do it with the left just so I'm on your side, but if you take your right leg back, tuck the toes and feel a bit of a push into that right leg. Pushing into the crown of your head and giving you a bit more length. Nice. And you're going to take that right leg across the left, so the toes come in across the body. And then keep that back leg straightish. You're not kind of bending into it. Just push the hips slightly to the floor. The right side of your hips is pushing slightly to the floor. Good job. And then come back up from that. Bring that right leg in so you're back on all fours. And then we'll do the same with the left. So take your left foot back, tuck the toes. Take a moment to press into that heel, find length through your spine. And then you're going to bring that left leg across the right, keeping the leg straightish, and then you're going to drop the outside of your left hip towards the floor. So you get a wee, that's like, get a wee kind of tilt. You'll maybe roll to the outside edge of your left foot. And then bring your hips back up. bring that left knee into all fours and take a big cat stretch. Let tailbone drop, head drop, maybe give your tail a wee wag, your head a wee nod or shake. And then from there, whichever one you prefer, either come into child's pose or down dog. If you're coming into child's pose, take your knees wide, toes together and press back from there. Perfect. And whichever one you're in, press the hands forward. Kind of keep walking the hands out as the chest comes down. And then take a big deep breath into the back of the body, particularly into the lower back. If you can find a bit of space there. One more breath. And then come into all fours from there, just so you can transition to have a seat. Actually, once you're there, grab your band or strap, whatever it is you've got. And come and sit with your legs out in front of you, as straight as it can be, but more important that you can sit up tall. The knees are as bent as they need to be. And then if you put the strap onto your feet and use the pull of the strap to sit yourself up. Nice. So as you sit here, settle into your sitting bones. Use the strap to draw the arms back and lift up through your spine. And then just play with pressing into the heels. If the heels will lengthen away, the legs don't need to straighten. They might. See if you can push into that strap and pull into it at the same time. Give yourself some height. Take a big deep breath in, and as you breathe out, let yourself fold forward. So the bands might help you, or you might want to let go of it. Let the top half of you fold. You might keep hold of the bands, walk your hands down it, get a bit of pull from it, or hold onto the legs if you prefer it, and use that to give you a bit of a pull. Nice work. And then it's a bit of a fold. And then where your spine's folded, start to lift up through the waist. If you've got the bands, pull onto that. If not, just let yourself sit up, feel the height, and feel again a bit of a push through your heels. Nice work. Take a big deep breath in and out. And then you're going to soften that. You're going to take the bands off. Again, keep it beside you and come and lie onto your back. Once you're there, hold your knees in and maybe take a wee kind of roll side to side. Bit of circling with the hips. Nice. And then settle into that. Take both feet down to the mat and have your arms by your side. And take a wee moment to feel your feet. Maybe take a little push into your feet just to feel them steady into the mat. And then start to press the backs of your arms back to your shoulders into the floor as you push your feet into the floor and lift your hips up. So coming up into a bridge, feel the push and the strength through the legs, length through the front of the body, settling onto the shoulder blades. Take a big deep breath in and out, and on your out breath, push a little bit higher up through the thighs. And then start to roll yourself down through your spine. So really enjoy the rolling down. Maybe giving the back of the body a bit of a massage. And then we'll do that one more time. So push through the feet, push through the backs of the arms, the shoulder blades, and really push yourself up off the floor. And seeing if you can bring a little bit more weight to the back of the shoulders with the feet pushing you into the shoulder blades. Big deep breath in and out. On the out breath, push your thighs higher. And then start to again roll down, give the back of the body a good old massage. Perfect. And then once you're down, hug your knees in and take again a wee sort of roll or a wee circle, whatever feels nice. Good job. So feet are going to come back down when you're ready. You're going to take hold of your strap and you're going to hold it above your shoulders. So hands up towards the ceiling, just check you've got room behind you. Okay, so same as we did, give it a real good kind of tug so you're pulling the tension of the band, and then start taking that band overhead. So reaching out through the armpits, band doesn't need to go to the floor. If it does, all good. And then bring it back up to where you started. And we'll do the same thing again. So you get that kind of reach and push behind you, lengthening the armpits and the side of the waist, and then bringing it up. One more time. Brilliant. And this time when it's back up, band into one hand, just so you can kind of shake the arms off. We'll keep hold of the band for one more time. Good. Okay, so pop the band onto your right foot, again, so I don't get myself muddled. As you know, it's very easy for me to do that. So again, just wear that right leg straight without too much tension. And then you're going to slide your left leg long. Okay. So that band's going to come into your left hand and your right arm's going out to the side. Good. You're going to draw that right leg across you, keeping your pelvis reasonably steady. So you might feel a bit of stretch on the outside of your right hip. And then if it feels good to, if it feels okay to, you're going to roll onto that left side into a bit of a twist. Good job. And then you're going to roll it back to where you started. Leg comes up in the air. And then bend that knee and just give the knee a hug as that left leg lengthens out. Well done. And then swap it over without getting yourself in a tangle, like I think I'm about to. Pop it onto your left foot. And again, to begin with, just find that place for your left leg straight without too much tension. Perfect. Okay. Slide out your right leg long on the floor. Band goes into your right hand, left arm comes out. And you're going to draw that left leg across, keeping your pelvis reasonably steady to begin with. Cool. And then if it feels good to, you're going to go with that roll and twist, rolling onto the right side of your pelvis, getting a bit of a twist through the spine. And then you're going to roll it back to the center. Get myself stuck. And then bend that left knee, just give it a bit of a hug. And stretch out through the right. Good job. All right. Take the band off your foot, however you do it, whether it's a kick or a, get it out of the way. And then come back with your knees in, both knees in, but this time hug underneath the knees and take your knees wide. As wide as feels comfortable, kind of almost letting the knees just fall away like gravity, give you a wee help with that. And you might find it's possible, or it feels nice to breathe into the back of your pelvis or breathe into the sitting bones, space between your sitting bones. And then from where you are, flex your feet and let the heels go forward and up to where they can without forcing it. The legs straight and fine, but it's not about straightening it. It's just about giving a bit of kind of reach through the inside of the thighs. Good job. And then bring that down, bring the knees in, give everything a nice wee kind of roll, circle. And then if you take your feet down to the floor, reach your legs out, reach your arms overhead and have a really, really big stretch. And then let that stretch just soften for a wee moment so that you can take your feet slightly over to the left side, to the left corner of the mat. And you're going to shuggle your shoulders to the left. So you're coming into a wee half moon. So the right side of your body is getting a bit more stretch than the left. And just stop for a breath. And then take your time wiggling yourself back to the center. Come back to the center first. And then take your feet over towards the right corner of the mat and then shiggle your shoulders to the right. So you can get a bit of a stretch to the left side of the body now. Big deep breath in and out. And then back to the center for a big stretch out. And then maybe bring the arms up, give them a wee shake out. And then just find a place where you can settle for a couple of minutes. So if it is lying on your back, all good. If you want to come up and sit for that couple of minutes of quiet time, whatever works for you, works for me. Getting yourself comfy. You might choose to focus on your breath. You might just enjoy the quiet if it is quiet where you are. And I will meet you back here in a couple of minutes just to finish up. Enjoy the peace. Maybe start to bring a little bit of movement to your body, whether it's a wee kind of roll the shoulders and we shiggle the ribs, anything that feels nice. Kind of let yourself know we're coming towards the end. Perfect. And then if you take your fingers and thread them through and take a little push forward with the hands. A big deep breath in and a good breath out, maybe round the back a little bit. Good out breath. And then bring that in, give the hands a wee shake. Take the hands behind you, a slight weight into them to lift the chest again. Good breath in and out. And then come and settle back into the center. Just notice if there's anything that you want to kind of seal in for the rest of the day. Thought, feeling, a vibe. Breathe it in. And then when you're ready, bring your hands to heart center. You can acknowledge to yourself that practice comes to an end and it goes off the mat with you. Thank yourself for coming to the mat, moving, looking after your body. And then thank you for me. Thank you so much for coming to the mat this morning. Thank you for being you.